Hi, Foothill Christian Preschool families. I'm Mr. G. I'm Vicky's husband. So the kids sometimes at the preschool call me Mr. Vicky. So that's kind of funny, but you may not know me, but my wife asked me to send a brief thought to you about what's happening over these next few weeks. It's very challenging times, and this is uncharted waters for all of us. So I thought I would share a very brief devotional thought with you. And it comes out of Mark chapter 6, verse 45. And it's right after Jesus had fed the multitudes with 2 fish and a loaf of bread. And then he sent the disciples over to the other side of the lake, to Bethsaida. And then he went up to the mountainside and prayed. And it says in verse 47, later that night, the boat was in the middle of the lake and he was alone on the land. He saw the disciples straining at the oars because the wind was against them. And shortly before dawn, he went out to them, walking on the water. He was about to pass them by, but when they saw him walking on the lake, they thought he was a ghost. They cried out because they were all terrified. Immediately he spoke to them and said, "Take courage, it is I. Don't be afraid." Then he climbed into the boat with them, and the wind died down, and they were completely amazed. This is uncharted water, and certainly the winds are against us, and we feel that very, very really. But we don't need to be afraid. In fact, in that passage where it says Jesus meant to pass them by, it wasn't that he was unconcerned with their plight. The words there are reference to the Old Testament story, the Hebrew sentiment when Moses said, "Lord, show me your glory." And the Lord hid him in the cleft of the rock, and it says he passed him by. When Jesus said he meant to pass them by, he was saying he meant to show them his glory. And I think we will learn lessons, and there will be God stories that come out of this journey that we wouldn't have learned otherwise unless the winds were against us. But don't be afraid. Jesus got in the boat, and the wind died down. So Jesus is in the boat with us. We don't have to be afraid. We're going to keep communicating with you as school families, and so to make sure that you know what's going on. And so our thoughts are with you, our prayers are with you, and we will get through this. Thank you.